Welcome back to Factorio Space Age. My name is Nilaus and we are back here with our glorious little science base, casual science base. What we built in the previous episode was this glorious pink science here, the electromagnetic science, made that legendary. And it's time for us to make more legendary stuff. And come on, give me some science. Yeah, it's raining science. All right, we're getting some normal science in here. So we need to scale up every single science, either to 240 per second or to 40 legendary per second. And I think 40 legendary per second is just a lot more fun challenge. So we're going to continue with today with the metallurgic science over on Volcanus. So we are on Volcanus. We are going to be looking at, this is the current setup. This is how we do science right now. It is pretty awful and it generates 33 non-legendary, but we can also see that if I want to make 40 legendary, it's going to be pretty close to this one, isn't it? Yeah, so let's use this as kind of a baseline and then go over here and then start designing it. So this will be basically what I can kind of say is that these episodes are now starting to get a little bit longer than also longer than I would like, but that's because there's still so much to do. But I want to sort of have one episode that does like all of what we want, right? So that is the objective, and let's see if we can get that done here. All right, so I hope you have your patience for a little bit extended episodes, and also that there'll be a little bit longer between the episodes. I could also just release more episodes, but then there would sort of be only half a story to tell in each, and I don't think that's particularly valuable. So that's what I'm gonna do, and hope you can just break it over in 2 episodes and then just pretend that it's one. Cool, let's see about this one. Well, 46, that means it's perfect. This is exactly what we want. So if I want to make this 40 legendary science, then which of course will correspond to 240 normal science, so 40 legendary science, it's not a big deal, right? It's pretty simple. It just needs some molten copper. That's easy to do, we're already done here. But then it needs some legendary tungsten carbide and legendary tungsten plate. Those are the ones that we have to focus on today. And if we then start breaking it down, let's see, I am going to make a little build like this, where I'm going to be setting up the quantities so that we know how much we want of each. If I want 40 of these outbound, then I am going to get this one that's legendary, and that's going to be minus 48 inbound, and the other one will be tungsten carbide. Here, that's going to be minus 32. Those are the ratios. And then if we do break it down again, then we can say, okay, let's now break it down to, we are going to make some legendary tungsten plates. There. And let's also make sure that it's like this. And, oh, that's a funny one, that one. And let's get a little there. Let's get that so that I have this flowing past. Let's see how much this is. It is 49 and I needed 48, and that means it's needed 78 of that. Let's see if we do. I am going to say if I get 48 of this, then how much of the normal tungsten carbide or tungsten carbide ore? That's 77. Cool. Then let's do the same thing for the other part. That's going to be, let's put you up here. This will be legendary tungsten carbide. Unfortunately, it can't be made in any other buildings, which is a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. And you're now making 41, and I was seeing up here that I had 32. So if that means 1 is sufficient, I'm going to make 32 of these, and if I make 32 of these, let's look at the ratio. It's 41.5 in and 41.5 out, and then it's half as much legendary carbon. So that is also super easy. There, minus 32. So that is super easy. We know exactly what we need. We just need 109. Okay, we should also do this one here. There, 109 legendary tungsten ore. That's it. Just get that. The legendary carbon, that's going to be super easy. We get that from the Titan here is kind of doing it, because you can see that it's also generating a lot of carbon. But I'm making one, the gold, of course. That's the only one that we haven't done. That's the last of the pirate ships in Drummer's pirate fleet, so that makes perfect sense for us to do that. And I'm just going to be making this ship. This will be an exact copy of one of the other ones. Well, exact copy, and then with subtle differences. I'm just always doing this one as a good start, just saying, hey, just get 2,000 of that, and then we'll make it one that's dedicated to this. You don't need to have one dedicated, but I really prefer having them dedicated instead of sort of sharing them, because then, yeah, there's no reason to. They can get their own. It needs 16 per second, so it's not a trivial amount of legendaries. But the whole point of this, the entire challenge of this, is going to be how to get, there, and there. There's something getting attacked. Oh, this is some Fulgora. We also need this one, of course. And you're going to be here, here, and here. And the build itself is extremely simple, right? And then we can get here in this one. Can you go just one down? Yes, you can go one down. Perfect. That will be the calcite, and that will be the tungsten plus the carbon goes in here, and then we get some sulfur, which is easy to get, and then it's just stacking it out on this side, there, and okay, like that. Good. And then they also get inbound, in. Let's actually just get inbound. Oops. It only needs one, right? It can't be. How much does this need? No, this one. Not much. Yeah. Actually, this thing here, I'm going to flip it like that, because now I have here, here, here. That's also a really good design. That's perfect. So there's one location where we get lava inbound, and then we just need to get stuff outbound. That'll be something like this. And then we do legendary, 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 legendary. There we go. So that will be our output of the final product. And this was 27. Yeah, you know what? I shouldn't be needing it, but let's do that anyway. There we go. And that's not going to go in here, but these need to be getting some calcite. So let's get some calcite in here. So calcite, should be perfect, and all we need is just a little light here and there. And let's get the light in here, so we can get light, 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 and then also some lights down here. Perfect. Lots of lights everywhere. Good. That's the build. All we need now is 109 tungsten carbide, and that is the real challenge of this design. This is easy, but the real challenge is that. So let's have a look at tungsten carbide. If I want to upcycle this, I can make big mining drills and recycle them. Man, that's annoying. Or I can make foundries, and then I can deconstruct them again. That's very close to doing the foundries is very close to doing the electromagnetic plants. We could do speed modules, but that's really bad since it's only one tungsten carbide in there. Then we can do quantum processors, which is nice, but then there are also a lot of other things. So that's the best one is probably the foundry. And if we look at the other thing, then here, what are our options here? There is really two that are basically the same, but there's one that is, this is the best one. It crafts in 2 seconds, and it uses 40 tungsten plate. That means it's very efficient. So we can do an upcycler for tungsten, for turbo underground belts, but we can also do a brute force build. And this is interesting. So I'm going to start by showing the brute force build, because the brute force build is a surprisingly good idea. And now I know that when I show this, I'm going to get a lot of comments that are not going to like what I'm going to show you. So let's start by defining my optimization. What am I optimizing? I am optimizing the fact that, hey, look, a tungsten mine. Let me get as much legendary tungsten per second out of this. That's my priority. It's really important. Really important. It's not let me get the maximum number of legendary tungsten out of this patch over time. It is per second. Because if it was over time, then I would just be setting up stuff like this and then going full quality. Yes, full quality. I'll get the maximum. The thing is, these patches are not going to run out. 4.2 million with only 8% being consumed and productivity at 1480%. It's not going to run out. So That's not going to be the issue here, that it's running out. The issue is going to be is how much can we get out. And then if we want to go the complete opposite of it, like, okay, if we want to get the absolute maximum out, then we can do something that is something that's heavily beaconized, like this, and also like that, or speed module, like everything goes speed module here, and we can just throw way more. Like that will give us, how much will this one give us? It'll give us, just like that, 2 full belts. Awesome. And then the question is, okay, then I need an absolute ridiculous amount of recyclers to upcycle this, because it's in a really inefficient way. So it is a maximum amount of legendary tungsten ore per second, but also considering the amount of resources needed. And therefore, I have come up with a very balance here that I like. It's good. I've tested a lot of different scenarios, and this just turns out to be the best one without going absolutely crazy on number of machines. Are you ready? Yes, that's it. That's it. And I know you're starting to write your comments, and that's perfectly fine. I've been there myself. It is a phase. We'll all get past it, and then we'll realize that this is actually the best. So what happens now? Why is this bad? Well, because if I take this out, I now get 24.8 quality percentage. That's great. But if I do this, I only get 12.3 quality. So that means I completely destroy the quality of this outbound. However, if we do this, then I get 25 per second, which is an absolutely disgustingly low amount. But if I do this, then I get 220. Now that's more interesting, isn't it? So this is pretty much a full belt. And if we just get a few more of the mining productivity, this one is at, oh, hold on. Oh, this is 20. Yes, we want to get up to 20, so it's an even 200%. And then after that, we're going to be getting a lot more of these. And that means we're actually getting a full belt at 12% productivity from 4 miners. And that means I can do something like this. I can basically go, you know, 8 of these can easily be, let's take just this out and say, okay, if I want to make, let's just do this one again, like this. And you are going to go here. Here, and you're going to be that, like that. So this is kind of my design, and I can then do, oh no, I don't have medium electric power poles. Well, if I did, they would be right there and there. So this is basically making 2 full lanes. If we look at this, 2 full lanes at 60, at 12.3 productive quality. So that's a really good number. And the great thing about this build is that as I build this, I can just go, well, you know, I have a patch. And another consideration is also, I don't want to spend too much time on actually setting things up. So I want to be able to just go like, yeah, that, like that, like that, like that. There we go. That's 4 builds. That means I have now 8 lanes full of 12.3% quality. So now the next part is, how would I actually process this? And then we're going to be using the method that we have established before. Can I get some concrete? Yes, let's get some concrete up here just to make things look lovely. Oops, I'm gonna get that there. Oops, I do need to be aggressively putting it there. There, that's 4 of those. I could also take that, but I don't care. This is not about sort of getting the maximum. It's about getting something quickly. And we're going to be using our recycling setup that we have devised before last time. So here, so that it gets, and if you haven't seen it last time, then we're going to do it very quickly now, and then you can go back to the previous episode to go more in detail. This is guaranteeing that there will always be stacked, that will only be stacked locations here. Yeah, so it monitors the content of the box, takes anything in the box, or not anything, but each item in the box, evaluates whether it is equal to or greater than 16. If it's equal to or greater than 16, then it outputs each of those items. And here that will correspond to different qualities, and that is then our outbound. So we're going to be putting this one on a outbound belt here. Let's see, we're gonna get this in the middle, there, and that will go. How close can we get it? We can get it there. 2, 3, 4, whatever. That one, and that means you're gonna be outbound here, and this will then filter out the legendary, and if it's not a legendary, then it just goes down here. Okay, and then it goes in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a good number. Great, this looks perfect. Like that. Oops. Like this. Flip it. Perfect match. And we're going to be making these so they input directly on splitters, because that's ever so slightly better. You're going to be getting out and then go back here. And then, of course, I'll be having some inbounds there. So this is where I get inbound. And then I'm going to get some. Let's do that. Perfect. And these will be then filtering only legendary stuff outbound. There. Good. So things come in, gets split out here, gets reprocessed, and then it recirculates, keeps recirculating until it becomes legendary. And when it becomes legendary, we are going to be happy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a box here, not a priority box, or not a logistics box, but just a box like this. And are we going to miss some lights here? Yeah, we kind of missed some lights. That should be enough lights for us. We can also put 2 up here, and then everyone's happy. Good. That one. 2, 3, 4. And then I just link these in here. And this will be something I would like to time, just to get to see how much time it actually takes to get this get this done. And so we're ready to set it up, and I'm going to start a timer at the same time so that we get a sense of how much time it runs, and then after that we're going to be seeing if how much we got in that time, and then we can basically see that, okay, for a patch, because the patches are pretty much sort of a size that we can put 4 of these builds on top, and not much more than that, but just like that. We have these patches here and there, and that also means that we probably need to go out and push away some more, because we need to get these patches actually available to us if we want to scale this up. So let's let it run, and I will be hooking up a few additional ones in the meantime. There might be a little bit of a problem with one of my designs. You know, that this doesn't seem like the intended behavior for my automatic recycling. I built an improved version of my biter nest thing last time, and well, the good news is that the turrets are working fine. The bad news is there's something about the recycling thing that isn't working quite the way I wanted it. And I can also see what it is. It is the fact that they are all coming in on one line, so they do tend to sort of get stuck. Or you could also sort of say that it could also be the other issue, that they are kind of... How many we got there? We got 13. What an awful number, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we kind of want them to be there, I guess. Yeah. And then if I flip that, they would have to be right here, maybe. If I did there, then it loses it, and then that one loses it, and then over here, I guess. We can then make it a little bit less down. There we go. Well, that should help alleviate some of this issue here, so that they actually get reprocessed. You can also say that this is what you call a self-balancing design, because if it overflows, then any excess turns into biters that will be destroyed, and therefore it makes room on the belts again. So this is an advanced form of self-balancing design. The good news is the laser turrets are working just fine to take care of any silliness. Maybe I should have monitored a little bit, but it works better now. It's more stable. It'll take some time because there are still some old residual things here on the belt that will just need to dissipate, plus all the stuff out here. But I've now done this filtering here on both sides, and we can then go back to Volcanus, where we are building this. I also made mistakes here, because that's what we do. I had forgot to set the filter here. I had also forgotten to actually put the modules in, so it ran for half an hour, and I couldn't understand why it wasn't getting anything. And I was like, that's so weird. But then I realized that I hadn't put any modules in here, any productivity, or sorry, quality modules. So now I've also, in the meantime, built some more up here. There's another here. It has now been running for 10 minutes, and it's about 1K here. Yeah, so a little bit more than 10 minutes. So that means it's, if we look at this, that this thing here with 2 patches here is going to be producing about 100 per minute, which is about 1/60th of what I need. But I think it's also a startup time. So what I'm going to do is I am going to just hook up a few more. And there are a few more patches out here that I'm interested in getting. There's one here. We can also just show you that I've also scaled up my weapon. This weapon is now legendary railgun ammo, which means 25,000 damage plus 40k physical damage. So it is quite a lot of damage, and that means anything, everything and anything gets one shot by this one. Oh, okay, if I hit it, of course. Oh, the silliness. There we go. Even big worms get one shot extremely easily. Oh, there's another big worm. And one shot. Yeah, but this is legendary everything, so that's it's supposed to be like that at this point. So let me hook up a few more things, let it run for another 20 minutes, and then we can see if what kind of baseline numbers we have. But I have another design as well for as an alternative to what we're doing now. Another 30 minutes has passed, and it's time to check back in on this one. If we look here, it's 1.8. So if we look at this patch and just basically say, hey, they're all working, they're all getting there, and yes, they are. Each of them are now producing pretty much 2 full lanes, and I can't quite consume 2 full lanes, obviously not, because if I consume 2 lanes, it will be 1/4 will be recycled, and then will be more than 2 lanes, and I just only have 2 full stack lanes out here. So it can a maximum consume 360, this one. Now if we look at this one, let's get some accurate numbers. When we get this one up here, it's going to be, say, let's just say 1.9 and round up, and then we'll be happy, right? So it's 1,900, let's go 1,850 divided by 30 minutes, divided by 60 seconds. Well, that's going to be about 1 per second. So I'm only getting 1 per second from this. That's not great. That's really not great. So even though we get like 2 more here, that's great, and we also got some new ones down here, we got another one there, and another one there, and another one there. They all add up, but they don't really add up to what I need. So we're gonna have to come up with something else, and I already have that. We did that previously in one of the other episodes. This one here, it's about sort of using the underground to upcycle, and this one we can see that it is very stuck and not doing so well. So something has stalled. Oh, it's actually this one that has stalled. Scrap it, rebuild it, let me make it a little crisper than what it is here, and then that will also be working. Here we have the new version of the quality upcycler for green underground belts, and what we do is we are going to set it up here. I was just noticing this error. Put it in. So we get some quality mining in here. We get about 345, 350 inbound. That's pretty much what we can expect to get. How much can we process? 200. Yes. So we should be able to process everything. It comes out here. Basically, it sets. It's a really bit of advanced here. It goes in, inserts on both sides into the middle belt. So the middle belt will be a mixture of the 2 things. And I think that I would like to actually do this here, because then I can go a balancer. It's always something. There we go. That's a balancer. That works a lot better. So that goes in here. Now it gets balanced and goes into these locations, and together with this part. But these have to be set up some priorities. I have to set up that even if it's low, then just request 500. Request, and request. Although the last one is going to be a little bit of a special one, because this one should also have a output condition that says if it goes over 2,000, then it will actually trash anything. Because I have to do that, because if I get too much, then I actually risk having all of these stall, and I can't have that. Then I am also going to request some blue undergrounds here, just because, and here I'm also going to get some blue undergrounds, but then higher quality. I don't think I need that many, because we don't have that many. And blue undergrounds, rare quality, blue undergrounds, epic quality, and then blue. This also has to be coming in. That, and then get all that. If we somehow happen to get some extra ones somewhere, then let's make sure that we get them back in here so that they get properly upcycled in a reasonable manner. This one, and that's here. Good. So that is done. I could set it up so that it also removes if it is more than 2000. That's honestly, I don't think it should be necessary, but it could be necessary if it just doesn't get enough of the underground belts in here. Then we have to make sure that we get rid of it. Cool. And then it goes up here and they get processed. Go in here. Each of these gets recycled into some tungsten and some blue belts, and those will just go out back on the belts. Then in here it says all the tungsten of all qualities go on the top line, and all the blue belts of various quality goes on the bottom line here. And then we just have this line where this things here, and you can see that there's a little bit of a clip here. There we go. We might want to take two of these, just so that we're sure that we actually get enough. And this one might also be having a condition like that, where it says do not import or do not insert once this is over 500. So anything under 500, go ahead, but over 500, don't insert. But then set it in here. Great. That works. And this is the blue circuit builder. It builds really quickly. This one is working and it's consuming pretty much exactly what we need. Now this one is just completing, and this is an older build that was just taking care of some excess stuff. We do not want that anymore. There we go. And then it's also time. It's been a little bit more than an hour, so we can take a look at some of these out here. This one has about 6,000. Okay, that's a mistake. Well, that's a problem. We're just going to be placing that one, and that means it's actually stalling here. This one is 4.2 in 1 hour. So again, we'll do 4,200 and then divided by 60 seconds, divided by another 60. That's 1.16 per second. So it sounds about right. It's a little more than 1 per second. So that is what we have. We keep having more. Oh, this was just the general one. That's before we had any conditions here or any foundations. Now we go over to this location, and what we can do at this point is we can actually just set it up and just figure out what we can do. So we have, if we look at tungsten in our inventory, we actually have quite a lot of this, and I have quite a lot of that. We also have some tungsten ore. So what I think we want to do is we both want to request the tungsten, because if I can get the tungsten in here, then I don't have to process it, and I think that's great. Then I can focus on using this one here for processing. So that means what I could do, and what I will do, is actually get yeah, that's a little bit complicated because I actually want it here, but then it's not going to go on the right side. If I do this, then go on the outside. So I'd have to get it on the other side, and then that's kind of all sorts of things that go wrong with this. All right, we found a mystical way of making it. I'm going to make it here, and I am going to request a lot of these. Let's say 500. Maybe that's not even enough. Maybe we'll go with 1,000. We'll go with 500. And down here, we are going to get the processing, that one, and that is 2,000. That is what we're going to need. Do I also want to request this? Not really. And is this is the legendary stuff. Okay, so you are getting the legendary in. Yes, you are not going to get that one in because you don't have the... Oh, okay, that's still for Gora, so it's not really a big deal. And all of these together, how much are they going to be getting? 8,000. Okay, so we do need quite a few, 3 of these locations here. That's not a normal location. So I need 1, 2. That's a weird setup here. That one and that one. Okay, so that will go. And they're gonna go in there. And they're gonna go in there. So that's 9,000 inbound. Great. And the only thing we miss is here. That'll be this one. I'll go with 5,000 or 500 because why not? And 500 up here. Yes, whatever. They just need to go in once. So that will get going. And next one is the carbon. And that's also another thing that I don't know if I'm ready for. There we go. We do not. We're not ready for it. But the gold here is very much doing stuff. It is now heading towards Volcanus and it is stuck. That's fine because it has too much, so I need to just request it here, back here. Then maybe just let's just get it in here and then say I am going to request that legendary 5,000. There we go. So then means then when the gold comes in soon, soon-ish, then it'll go up here. Let's have a look if things are working aside from this. Yes, you're working. Yes, you're not working. You need some sulfuric acid, which is something we can definitely get over here as well. So let's get some sulfuric acid over to us. I hope I have enough. And I also hope that it doesn't get... Yeah, it did. It did overextend, so that's fine. We'll just take it and push it that way. And go more. Go more. And then somehow get it in here. And we are now in here, and we should see a good bit of legendary carbon flowing into the planet, and then becomes the moment of truth. We see this one, it starts up again, it's looking good, and everything is happy. So we're going to get some legendary carbon in. Once we get legendary carbon into this box, it'll take a little bit of time for it to land. There we go, it's now coming in, 500 inbound, and then there's a lot of stuff remaining. That will be coming in here. We have also enabled some research that is actually consuming. And we still have a lot of accessment. And there we go. That is now working at the ratio. So the question becomes, are you working? You are not working. Why are you not working? Oh, of course, of course, of course. So another thing that isn't working, that is... Oh, that's perfect. Perfect. I'm going to take you and just drop you into this particular little bit of lava. There we go. Into the lava with you, and into that with you. So that was actually also important. How much is that? 138 each. Are you kidding me? That's a lot. Okay. That is crazy. Okay, that's actually problematic, I guess, because that won't even be enough. Fluid ingredients missing. Okay, so we just add more fluids. That's not a problem. Not a problem. This should not be fluid ingredients. How can that be? If I look at this, these three here, I'm getting 8,000, and each of these are producing 3,000. But somehow this one doesn't have any lava. This has lava, yes, but this one does not have lava. I don't know why. Huh, so that doesn't work. Alright, these are working, but they're not pumping. Oh, right, of course. Ah, of course. How silly that is. There we go. Now it's working. And just get an extra one just for sheer idiocy. There we go. That's enough. Now they're working, but they might actually be having a little bit of an issue with that outbound. As much as I want this to work, then it isn't really working. I've done some tweaks and turns here just to make it a little bit nicer. Put in some here, so it wasn't like over a full belt, full stack belt that I have to get out, but just putting here and then auto destroying it with recyclers. So minor changes, that's all nice, but we can see the issue is here that we just don't get any tungsten ore coming in. We just don't, well, we don't get enough tungsten ore. We can always see that there's something coming in, like having always 500 coming in. It's actually not bad. But if we look at our production stats and look at tungsten, then we can see that we're producing about 800 per 10 minutes. So that is 80 per minute, and it's about like 12 or something-ish, 11 maybe, 11, 12 per second, which is clearly not enough when we needed about 100. Also, we're making some tungsten plate, which is also nice, but it still just doesn't add up at all to what we need. And therefore, we are going to have to do something else. And we can't do fully legendary here. So what we can do is we can make legendary, and then I can show you how easy it is to supplement it with something that's not legendary. So we're going to do that. That's down here. We're just going to be taking this location because it has some tungsten ore, it has some calcite, it has some coal, and up here we also get some of that. And this tungsten ore is too small to make like one of these builds, so let's just use it for this one because it's so damn simple. Let's do that. Cool. Well, I have a build that I've been sort of tinkering a little bit with as an alternative, and I'm going to be showing you that here. Let's see if we can get that maybe, I guess, and that one here, and let's put some beacons and also there. Okay, so what is this going to be? This is going to be non-legendary, and these are going to be tungsten, and these are going to be, one is going to be the iron part and for the tungsten, and the other one is going to be the copper for these two up here. And then of course we need one more little thing, and that's then here. This will be the, oh, what's going on? Volcanist. Oh, hello. Hello. How are you doing? Ah. Oh, I guess I was inside its, I built inside its territory. Oh well, sorry about that. Won't happen again. Ah, we're stuck. And, okay, back to the design. That one. And I think I need to go one down. No, I can't go one down. I have to go here. And then I guess you have to go one up. Okay, because I'm going to get this somehow in here. And then, I don't know, out and out. Okay, because then I can go, you can go in here, and let's put all the productivity modules into everything that can get productivity. This one probably shouldn't get productivity, but I need it because I need it to go faster. Let's have a look at this ratio. What is it? 33. And if I then do 4 of those, then I get a half a full belt, half a stack belt. That's pretty good, right? So combined with the legendary, I think that's going to be good enough. And we're a little bit short on that part. Is that going to be an issue? It probably is. So would that be, I don't think it's actually going to be better if I put in these instead. I don't think that's going to be, oh, that's actually going to be better. Okay, cool. Then we just do that. All right, so that is going to be the legendary here. This will just be that. And now I can then do inbound here. Maybe put it like this. And then say, hey, you can get that, and you can get that, and you can get that. And the quantity for this isn't really that much. Oh, 26 plus 26 plus how much is this? That's 42. And then I also need a requester inbound. And that requester, you know, let's do the whole thing with belts here. So that is going to be the carbon coming in here. So we can need carbon on one side and that on the other side. Let's do the piping. This is the iron part, so that goes here. That's fine. And then let's do the copper part here. Copper goes up, goes this way, and then goes all the way over there. And then I need to make sure that, of course, I can get this inbound here and here. And these are going to go out and out. And then I need liquids inbound for, that's not it. Okay, and this needs to be deleted or be sent out. So I'm thinking just put it out on a belt like this, and then we'll figure out where that goes. And the only outputs we're missing is the stacked output of this, which will then go something like this, and then go merge in, and live happily ever after. Yes, yes, and yes. Okay. So we just make this part here. This is our module. Modules need lights, right? Modules need light. There we go. That's a module. And this is just excruciatingly easy. Oops. I guess we'll be sort of make them away from the roper port. That's kind of how I always do it. And that one and that one. And now all I need to do is just hook it up with all the various things. So here we are, we've hooked everything up. It's just getting stuff in here, and yeah, there we go. We got another research completed, and there we go. We are getting also calcite in. I'm belting in the calcite because it's actually kind of a significant amount, 48, so don't bother with that. We got the lava, we got the tungsten. The tungsten is speed mining, so we get plenty. And then all we need to do is just hook it up and hope for the best. And we got the carbon just coming in here. This is really not a big deal, 60 to 90, so it's It's okay. And then we just start seeing it work. Hopefully, hopefully, hopefully. Somehow this doesn't seem to work. Why not? It's not getting anything inbound because I have that one here. Good. So now it flows correctly into all this, and that just adds another 133 metallurgic science, which is then just going to be fine. We're going to be now having this little stuff here, and if we wanted to, we could double it. That shouldn't be a problem, and none of these are really constrained. But then we have this part here. What? Oh, Fulgora, that's just something getting destroyed here. Okay, and back over on this side, we also have a lot of stuff here just ready to go. So it is building, and of course when we do stuff like researching laser turrets, then we're not really consuming it, so it'll sort of stockpile, and only when we need to get the research productivity do we actually need it. But you know, we do need it. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. Remember, if you are a patron supporter, you can get all these glorious blueprints, and if there's some blueprints or some designs that I haven't included, then you can always just get the save games and just snatch whatever you want. So thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next episode when we get started on the next thing. I have some promise for you that I have a build that is the most absurd build that I have ever built that is coming in one of the upcoming episodes. So stay tuned, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care and stay effective.